I did not record the beginning. Oh my goodness. Um, Bummer. That's okay. Um, I when I first got on Instagram, I saw a world of potential, right? It can be done in pockets of time. You don't have to do like lunch and learns and such. You don't have to chase down doctors and referrals. Like I said, I wanted to spend more time with my daughter. So I wanted something that could fit in pockets of time that I could do while my daughter was napping. And Instagram is that. So I hired coaches and masterminds on how to learn Instagram. And it really paid off. And so that's what I, taught Katie and Allie there. But you might decide, I really don't like Instagram, and that's fine. But you want to make sure that you, okay, if you don't like Instagram, you still want to make sure you're relevant for Instagram because it is searchable these days and people can stumble across you. And you want to learn how to start to post online, even if it's just staying current, one post a week. Everyone can do that so that you are online. If you have an online program, you want to start to have an online presence. But the bulk of your marketing could be actually in person through networking, through workshops, through classes. It's endless, all the things that you can do. What you need to figure out though is what your strength is and where you want to show up, and then where your audience is as well. So just take a moment to consider that for yourself. And oh, it did. Oh, okay, I was recording. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, Marina. I just had a freak out moment there. My nervous system got hijacked there for a moment. I'm so glad. Hopefully I am recording. Okay. Um, thank you. That just made my day. Okay, so let's workshop this together. So some of you might be Facebook. It might not be Instagram. Right now, Facebook is actually pushing out a lot of reels. It's really crazy. I have some reels that are getting like 10,000 plus views on Facebook, and I'm getting new followers on Facebook. So, Facebook for the last couple of years was kind of considered like a legacy audience, meaning you have an audience of a few hundred. I know some of you maybe even 1,000 or 1,500 followers on Facebook. And you're like, oh, but they're just my friends and my family or people I went to school with or at my old job. Listen, you don't know what friends they have that need your help. You don't know if they have an aunt that could need your help. It's a referral system. And I have many clients who say, oh, an old colleague actually reached out to me, or someone at my job reached out to me because they saw my Facebook post. Those are the people that know, like, and trust you. So it might not be Instagram, it might be YouTube. YouTube is another really great place where people have a chance to really grow an audience, especially in the yoga world, because you can, put up so many yoga classes with the chance of going viral. But you just need to figure out where it is that you want to show up, style of marketing that works for you. So let's see if we can, comment some suggestions in the chat. And or if you have a question or feel stuck on where to post and what to say. So part of this marketing process is also your messaging. You want to make sure no matter where you're showing up, if it's in your, well, we'll talk about workshops in a moment, but workshops, social media, Facebook, YouTube, blog posts, networking events, you want to make sure that you're using client language that they understand the problem that you're solving for them there in the moment. So if you feel stuck on messaging, if you feel stuck where to show up or how to show up, please drop it in the chat. I'm happy to help, or let me know where you're going to show up so we can hold you all accountable. Okay, Kavita says suggestions on the basics of how to create and run an online workshop. I'm used to working one-to-one, not in a group setting. Yes, I got a whole bunch of sessions. That's step number, or suggestions. That's step number 3. So we'll put a pin in that for a moment, Kavita. We are going to go to workshops, but let's focus on marketing here for a moment. Where are you guys going to show up? Do you know the messaging? Translating IG, someone says. Okay, for Irina, for IG, do you know what type of posts are you going to create? Reels, carousels, those are the two most popular right now. And do you know how to get out of your practitioner brain into messaging that relates to the clients? That's what's really going to help with both YouTube, Facebook. YouTube is good, Robin. YouTube is a great place. So you can actually, I've been growing on YouTube. I'm not really on YouTube, but what I've been doing is taking my reels and putting, well, my VA does this for me, but before my VA, I would do this manually, put them on YouTube as YouTube shorts. And that has brought me followers on YouTube. The other thing that I do is YouTube is long form content mostly. So I record a podcast. If you guys aren't already listening, make sure you listen it. It's the Ignite Your Wellness Business podcast with a UR. I record those as audio and also video, and then I put them onto YouTube as well. So you can repurpose content to YouTube, or YouTube can also be your main strategy if you love long form content. So I have some clients that do yoga classes on YouTube, or more educational long form content that answers specific questions that your audience has. Or I know you do abundance, so you can, for example, and I know your book is each of your abundant techniques each of those could be its own YouTube video, right? And then you just have to SEO optimize it. But yeah, you could do that on YouTube. Reels, carousels, great. Most of my crowd is on Facebook. Reels is my most popular. Good job, Woods. I don't know if that's your first or last name, but perfect. Do you have any questions? Debbie says IG, Facebook. Need to do better messaging. Transitioning from teaching movement. I've been a teacher for 30 years. Wow, amazing. Thank you for this workshop. You're also a cancer survivor. Yes, yes. Conserve your health. So Debbie, if you don't mind me asking, you can drop in the chat or raise your hand so I can find you. I can bring you up on the screen. Where do you feel stuck with your messaging? This is a really popular one. This is going from saying something like, the reason why you're having back pain is because you have glute amnesia and your sit to sans, blah, 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 right? Practitioner language to, every time you bend over to pick, here's the real reason. Every time you bend over to put on your shoe, your back spasms, right? There's a difference. Debbie, I see you now. You can unmute yourself.
Hi, Allison. Hi, everybody. Thanks. It, I, it's just my transition time. I've been teaching for so long. People just see me as exactly that movement, period. I mean, they come to me like I'm their therapist, and there's so many other things that I actually do. It's just transitioning for them to be in a way that yeah, I'm just stuck on the messaging for this time of transition.
What do you want to be doing with them?
It's definitely, I mean, my audience is definitely for women over 50 that are just in time of transition. They're the high achieving, overworking, people pleasing, and now they don't know what to do with themselves.
Mm.
And so I use somatic movement, I mean, in all the modalities, but other things and frequencies. So it's like, it's not, there's so many parts and pieces, but
Mm-hmm.
those are like the tools.
Mm-hmm. What's the
And
result that you help these women get? Or tell me some results that these women achieve after working with you.
I mean, they, I think we're all looking for it, but it's actually feeling good in their skin again, to recognizing
Okay.
who they are, that aging is not the end of them.
I'm writing this down. So feeling good in skin. So having more confidence, right? Maybe
Yeah.
fitting into, going out to dinner with the gals or lunch with the gals, and and putting on that cute outfit and showing up and feeling, you know, strong and vibrant. Something like that.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So it really is for me, this is my process is I look at one result. So I say feeling good with skin. And then I think to myself, okay, when they feel good in their skin, what is actually happening in their day at 12 p.m.? Okay, maybe they're going to go meet lunch with the girlfriends. They're not going to cancel because they binged on breakfast on cake and they missed their morning workout. So now they feel like crap and they're beating themselves up. So that's not going to happen. That's actually a post right there. Here's the real reason why you get out of bed and you feel stiff, achy, and sore. Or here's the real reason why you get out of bed and you're binging on cake and cookies. It's not your fault, right? So that's thinks of a bunch of posts and messagings that speak to them. And or you can go the other direction. Okay, if they are feeling good in their skin, I know they're going to be showing up in like their cute clothes and they're going to be vibrant and their girlfriends are going to be like, wow, what are you doing? You look amazing. And that's what they want. So then I can have a post about that. You know, that memorable moment when you show up to a girlfriend brunch and all your girlfriends say, you look amazing. What have you done? Like that's a post, that's a reel right there. And all you have to do is like show, or that time you show up to Pilates class and everyone comments on your outfit and how amazing you look in it. You could do like a B-roll of you on the, the reformer or something like that. So you see, it's just taking the result and then figuring out what's happening in their day to day. And then it's the content is speaking to a specific moment in time for them. And that's what's really trending right now. Or you're telling your story. That could be some ideas.
No, no, you've been terrific. Thank you. These
Yeah.
are all great. It's
Okay.
helpful to hear from everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. So that's for everyone. That's the process is especially if you're on Instagram or Facebook, it's the moments in time. And what specifically are they struggling with in that moment in time? Or what specifically are they desiring in a moment of time? That is your content. And each piece of content, a reel, a carousel, is one of those moments in time. It's very specific. And your story goes a long way. So if you look at my account, I'm always telling parts of my story, not my whole story every time. It's like micro wins of my clients, my own micro wins, micro struggles. So like this leads to connection too. So these are all marketing ideas. So what comes up for you guys with all of this? Any questions, thoughts? Or we'll start to move on to step number 3, the workshops. I'll just give a moment here. Okay, thank you, Debbie, for showing up here. Okay, so my client Rachel, when she first came to me, she didn't want to be on Instagram a lot. So Betty was on Instagram. She's been growing her following on Instagram pretty steadily. Rachel did not, but she had a very strong local community. So for her marketing, we did more of an in-person focus. But when she first came to me, she was stuck at 3 to 5K months. She's a very skilled practitioner. She's an acupuncturist, an online functional medicine practitioner. She was really tired. She has her own health journey she works on as well. And she was like, I don't know how to. She knew she could help people online. She wanted to help people online, but she could never get an online program to take off that didn't bring in more than just a couple $100 here or there, nothing any to get her past that plateau. So what we did was really dial into those local presence. And now for those of you that say, okay, well, I'm in a really small town, people don't really understand the online world or what I do or don't spend thousands of dollars. She is in a small town in Minnesota or Milwaukee. a really small town, but she has high ticket programs. One of them's 2,500, one of them's 5,000. And most of her clients are local people. And they purchase for her. So it comes down to that messaging and the marketing plan and funnel. So she has a hybrid business. She does, and even her acupuncture clients, she uses acupuncture too, where she helps people get results through acupuncture. And a good percentage of those people also work with her online in her functional medicine program. And so she's now, for the past, I think it's last year, she hit her first 6-figure year. And she hits consistent 5-figure months now, I want to say, for a solid year. Anywhere from she 10K, 12K, 18K. We just got off the phone last week, and I think this month is already at 13K, and she has more days to go. So she was able to, get back more time and finally break past that 3 to 5K revenue plateau where she was stuck at for years. Okay. And again, she is on Instagram. She has a presence there where she can be found. And occasionally she does just get a random person there. She posts she posts a couple times a month, not that often. And we dabble in Instagram, but she just has steady leads coming from the local community that she doesn't need to go in all in on Instagram. And she really uses Google, in fact, too. So you don't have to do Instagram if you don't want to. Okay, so now we'll talk about workshops, because Rachel utilizes workshops, Betty utilizes workshops. I have many of my clients that utilize workshops. The mistake I see when practitioners come to me and they say, okay, I'm doing workshops, but I never get clients from them, is that they don't have a workshop plan. They're just teaching, right? They just show up and teach the value. And that's great. You want to teach value in a workshop. This is a little meta because I'm teaching a workshop now. Of course, you want to give value, but also you want to have a strategy that seeds your program so those people that are ready and wanting help now know that there is a next step. It's just as simple as that. So often there is no next step. There's no seating. There's no clear offer or call to action at the end. And there definitely is no follow-up system. Those are big mistakes I see with workshops. When you have a system for workshops, then when you are marketing the workshop and when you fill the room for the workshop, people are going to be pre-sold on your program before they even come to a consult call, because they'll know about your work, they know about what you do, they know the problems that you help solve, they know the solutions that are available and the potential that's available if they work with you. So they come to consult calls, if you do them, already pre-sold, or they're pre-sold in the workshop where they just come up to you and say, I need to work with you. I can't tell you, that is how I went for myself. I used to do workshops where, I would get like anywhere from 15 to 20, 30 people show up, and I'd make, sometimes a few $100s, $1,000, which is great for 2 hours. But, as you noticed from my story, I was stuck in a workshop grind, doing workshops all the time on the weekends. And what really shifted for me was when I learned the workshop system that I'm teaching here, is that I took that same workshop and now I'm showing up for those same 2 hours. But if I have a $2,000 program, which I did at the time, and I sold 5 people from that workshop, that 2-hour workshop, instead of just making $1,000, I make $10,000 from those 2 hours. That's the difference. That's when your revenue becomes more scalable. So here is the process that really helped me to get there, because workshops, they're the bridge between your Instagram content, your blogs, networking, all this stuff. It's what helps to build trust, and where people understand exactly, like what Debbie is saying, they understand exactly what you do and how you help them. So here is the framework. So number one, when you have a workshop, you need to have a specific result. You hear specificity from me today over and over again. Specificity in your messaging, specificity in the result of your program, specificity in the workshop topic. So instead of just saying reduce pain, you are saying, like, I will help to, reduce your low back pain so that you can, get back to the CrossFit gym. You are saying, instead of feel better in your body, you're saying, oh, I help menopausal women get stronger, leaner, and have more energy so they can, go to the social events that they love. No worries, Karen. I'll see you soon. So you need to have a specific result. And here's where AI is really good. Like, if you have an idea and you train AI in your audience and the work that you do, and you tell it in a prompt, hey, give me some workshop topics that lead to a specific result, you can have a nice back and forth with it, and it can give you some really great focused workshops with great headlines, so you can fill the room with the right people that they're coming because they have that specific problem. And then your program is, the all income, they're going to get wins in the workshop. And then the program is the all, where they get to work with you more, implementing all the work. So the other thing is, you need a unique solution. You, in the workshop, you can't just teach, drink water, meditate, eat healthy, do yoga, cat camel. You can't just teach what they've heard before. With all AI and all these practitioners on Instagram and out there in the world, you do have to be unique. You have to be memorable. They have to say, oh, well, like, I have people that tell me, oh my gosh, Allison, I need to work with you because there's no practitioners telling other practitioners how to go online. You're a massage therapist. You're a physical therapist. I think you can help me. Like, no one can replicate my story and my experience. It's memorable. When I was a practitioner, before I did business coaching, when I was a practitioner, people used to come to my workshops. I would tell my backstory. I have a history of scoliosis. I have a history of disc tears with my, significant sciatica, like weakness, back locking up, the whole thing. And I would show them the yoga wall. They would laugh because literally, they would partner up and, like, we would use the straps and we'd joke about tying people up. Like, they would tell their friends. It was memorable. They would, like, they would come and we'd do the wall and we'd joke and laugh and had straps. And then they would come back the next time, like the same exact workshop, back pain. But now they bring their friends because they're like, Allison, I told my friends about you. We're ready to be tied up again. It was memorable. It was not just like the stuff that they had heard and seen before. So when you're doing your workshops, whether it's online or in person, both can lead to your online program. How can you be memorable? How can you stand out? Through your again, comes down to your expertise. What are your certifications? What's your story? Here today, you heard my story of why I went online, why I'm so passionate about this work. When I was a practitioner, I told my backstory. So just take a moment, and let's pause there and think about those and see if you have any questions about that to start. And then we'll talk about seeding and selling essentially. The stuff you guys all love. You love selling. Let me know. What are some workshop topics you guys are going to teach on? We can go over if there's any questions and see if they're specific enough. Let me know. Workplace ergonomics. I love that. That's really good and specific. Okay, so when they learn workplace ergonomics, Danny, what does that enable them? I would, in your copy, in your messaging for registration page, it might be something like, what do they complain about? I'm just going to take something like reduce your back pain at work workshop. Also, you can have less sick days, be more productive, and get a raise. Who doesn't want a raise because they're more valuable at the company because they're showing up more, or they're not being distracted by back pain during their day now. Sheem, did I say your name right? Do you recommend in-person or online workshops? Both, either. I've done both. I've done in-person to online. I've done online workshops to online. You can do both. I've done presentations and workshops for my local chamber of commerce to online programs. Think big here. Anywhere you present. My classes to online programs. Yeah, if I do it online, I do it through Zoom. You could do Facebook Lives if you wanted, create a Facebook event and do a Facebook Live. I mean, truthfully, there's no wrong answer. You just have to test it for yourself. I think the problem is, and I say this on the podcast a lot, is that practitioners have no shortage of ideas. The problem comes down to they look at the idea as the only way instead of a hypothesis. So for example, you want to try online workshop through Zoom. If you don't get attendees, nothing's gone wrong. It just means that your audience wasn't big enough or the messaging didn't resonate. So you say, okay, that hypothesis didn't work. I'm going to try again. Maybe I'll try now just going to my Facebook community because I know they're there. I'll just do an event and I'll make it more casual, and you try it that way. So you just have to just put a hypothesis out there and just try it. And if it flops, it's okay. Nothing's gone wrong. I've flopped so many times. I've had workshops where no one showed up or 3 people show up. But I'll tell you what, I had workshops where I had 3 people show up and 2 out of the 3 converted. Was well worth my time. Amy says, holistic approach to improving health span and quality of life as we age. Yes, just add a so that to that. The specificity, work on the specificity there. What happens when they have quality of life as they age? Are they able to go on hikes with their friends? Are they able to go to pickleball and not fracture their patella like my dad just did? Are they able to, what are they able to do? What are they telling you? I would consider that. Yeah. Okay, good. Catch the replay. Okay, so let's move on to the next step. So within this, you need to seed your program. So as I've done here, I've mentioned client stories. You now know that, okay, I work with clients beyond this workshop where I actually walk you through. Betty, we did a bunch of screen shares. I mentioned my group program. I've highlighted client stories. In the very beginning of this workshop, I said, stay to the end. I have a special offer for you. So you need to seed your program about what you do through the workshop. And then at the end, you want to have a very clear call to action and give them a reason for signing up now. Okay. So you do want to make sure that you're bringing that into your workshops. So Casey, she came to me as a physical therapist. She has a per diem job. So you don't need to be full-time in your business like Rachel and Betty are full-time. She's brand new to the online world, brand new to business, and had her per diem job, wanted to start working with more functional medicine clients and eventually leave physical therapy, and had no idea how to get clients. So what we did was set up her first in-person workshop in her local community. She's in a small town too, and because she didn't have an audience at all, just got on Instagram, no email list, so no audience, zero. And what we did was collaborate. She collaborated with a health food store, and she reached out to the owner, and because she knew that owner hosted workshops, and the owner said sure, brought her in. She had a free workshop in the health food store because she did the collaboration, and she did some marketing to her friends and family. There was 30 plus people that showed up in her very first workshop, and she got consult calls and she signed clients off her very first workshop. So you don't have to have a big audience to make this successful. You don't have to be in business for a long time to make this successful, or be offering workshops for years before it becomes successful. You can do it off your very first workshop. So now she has a system, right? She can just repeat. She's building her audience now. That workshop, that was the first people on her email list. Some people started following her on Instagram. So now she's growing her following, she's growing her audience. She has a clear path to consistent 10K months. Okay, so let's do a recap. Here are the shifts that you need. Your expertise will translate online. You just need to package it differently. You need to think bigger. You need to consider the result and all that you can offer online to go into that result. That does not require your hands or you being in person. Then, once you have that offer, you need to start to grow your audience and reach that audience through marketing, through messaging. It can be in person networking events. It can be online like Instagram and YouTube, but you need to work on growing your audience and messaging and conversion there. And then one way to help with that specifically is workshops. And workshops, you don't have to utilize them just to pay the bills. You can actually 10 times that, like I did, and actually use it to help create 10K plus months in getting clients to your online program. So you might be thinking, okay, what if I had support to help make these 3 steps happen? So you've seen the blueprint. You might be thinking this makes so much sense, but where do I start? I'm not sure I can do this on my own. So I have a program for you. It's called the 100K Online Practice Blueprint. It's everything you need, where I walk you through the steps on how to go online, on how to fill your programs. I'm just going to bring back my slides here for a moment. I hit some button. Can you share? Can you see the slides? No. Okay, can you see them now? Okay. See, mistakes can happen even when you're in the selling part. Okay, so let's talk about the program again. So if you ever feel stuck, like you show up to the computer and you don't know what to say in the messaging, or you don't even know what to prioritize, you have an idea for a workshop, you have an idea for an online program, but like Casey, maybe you don't know where to start. So in the 100K blueprint, you get weekly coaching calls with me. I have step-by-step video lessons and module that walk you through the step-by-step. You get touch points with me. So just like in this workshop, our group calls, I pause, I teach, and then I also pause and we workshop things together. You have the opportunity to submit like registration pages for a workshop for feedback. You get an onboarding one-to-one call where you get your personalized roadmap, where you walk into the program feeling confident about your offer, confident about your marketing plan, your messaging, and if you want to do workshops or not, some workshops ideas, or showing up on Instagram. You also get the support of the community. You have weekly content. And here are some of the modules that are actually in the program. So I walk you through the steps of the online program. So all that we did here today, we break it down in a little bit more detail. So you really have a program that you're excited to sell. You feel confident that you know you're going to be able to get people results online. The marketing, I walk you through the marketing on what to say, where to market, how to do it in a hybrid, how to utilize your website if you want to bring in blogs, if you want to show up on podcasts, if you want to utilize referrals. So all of that is in there. So you never have to guess like where to show up or what to do. The messaging, I have so much on messaging. We break down messaging all the time because it'll show up everywhere in your workshops, in your Instagram content, in your emails if you send those. So messaging is key. So I have a lot of modules and lessons on messaging. If you want to go right to group and not do one-to-one, I have all about launching, how to make sure that it's worth your time, how to make sure that you're not just getting a few $100s, but you're getting a few $1,000, email strategy in combination with Instagram. I got a lot on launching. We break down workshops, so you get the six-figure lead generation workshop strategy. I have an example workshop of me teaching an online program there, so you get the specifics on how to seed your program, how to fill in-person and online workshops. You also get Instagram. We have a whole Instagram section. So like I said, I have many clients that have grown their audience. I have many clients that have a few hundred followers, but they make 5 to 8K thousand months because they know how to convert off Instagram. Michael, do you have a question? You can unmute yourself or just drop it in the chat.
Sorry to interrupt. Nothing, no questions specific to what you're going through now, but once you get to a stopping point, I have a question about the blueprint.
Oh, perfect. No, ask it now. Go for it.
Um, Well, I had a question more about like what we were talking about today because we were going through um, kind of the steps to like what I'm getting mostly out of this is like really wrapping my head around being able to create an online offering um, and also kind of how to like attract and close those clients. We didn't really touch that much, and forgive me if I missed this. Um, like what tool, like how did we, maybe we went over this, but like how are you delivering, how are we delivering this this like online offering? Is it through our own app? Is it through a
Oh,
series of
yeah,
videos that
so
we
great.
make?
Yeah, really great question. Um, it can be so simple that it could be just if you're doing one-to-one, you're showing up on Zoom and that's it, right? I have many clients where that's where they start.
Hmm.
Then over time, if you want, you can develop online modules such as I have here.
Hmm.
Um, and they could be, I have a few clients, they're not ready to, they want to bring in revenue before they actually spend more money on like, I use Kajabi personally for my online program, or Kartra is another one, schools out there now. So there's, many places where you can host actual online programs, but you don't need that. My
Hmm.
clients, when they start, they just use Google Drive and they give out Google
Hmm.
Drive links with handouts and modules there. And they get
Yeah.
people in there and they test it and they get actual revenue. And then they say, oh, okay, now I'm ready for Kajabi. So
Hmm.
that's one way to do it. Uh,
Hmm.
so you can have nothing or just Zoom, or
Hmm.
you can go deep into getting an apps and everything. It's really up to you.
Okay, cool. Thank you for expanding on that.
Yeah, yeah. Any more questions?
Mm, not for me, but thank you, Allison.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so I will answer more questions. So if you have them, you can drop them in the chat or raise your hand like Michael did. Um, but yeah, so here a question I get too with this process is like, well, as I'm transitioning online, like Debbie said she was transitioning, how do I protect my revenue? You want to protect your revenue. So I've never seen this in any other online program, and I've done a lot. I walk you through how I transitioned, how I protect my revenue. I kept revenue coming in. I kept my in-person people coming in while I grew online. So I have a whole lesson on that. And I know some of you, this is a group program. It's a small group. Call size will be anywhere from 5 people to sometimes there's 15 people on calls, but everyone always gets their unique questions answered. But if you are wanting to make sure that you get your my eyes individually on your business and make sure that I know your business, I know your offer, because you're part of this workshop, I am offering 2 one-to-one calls as part of this program. So they're 2 45-minute calls where we'll actually map out your offer. If you don't have it already, we'll map out your marketing plan. If, like Michael, you're unsure of like what to put into the offer or which tools or apps to use, we'll go over all of that. So then you just spend the rest of the time in the program, like, growing your audience on Instagram, for example, converting your workshops. Another common area I see where people get stuck is that they have a website and they're not sure what to do with it with their online program. So I'll go over a website audit, which will help with clarity of your messaging, because if you have your messaging on your website, then you can just use that messaging for now Instagram and even your workshops as well. So I'm offering a website audit and 2 one-to-one calls if you join by Friday at 5 p.m. So January 30th. And even if you just had the repeatable system to sign clients, know how to package your work online, and knew what to prioritize in your day-to-day, it's worth the investment. But you get so much more. You get the transition, you get podcast help if you wanted to do that, you get website help. I have clients that do Google Ads. So it's really customized to what you need and what phase in your business where you are. I just have clients that are starting out making their first few dollars. And I also have clients like Rachel and Betty that are now scaling into, they've hit their 6-figure years and they're scaling beyond. So the investment for the program, it's 6 months long. You get 3 weekly calls with me, the one-to-one support, the modules, the community, my feedback on registration pages, all of that will save you so much time. Is $2,000. That is pay in full. There are payment plans available. You can do a payment plan through the 6 months of $384 a month. So if you we made your program, let's say we made your program on the lower side, $12,000, a 3-month program, $12,000. If you signed 1 client into that program a month, and your payment plan was $384, you're going to triple your return on that investment. So the sooner you start, the sooner you have a chance to get in the program. So if you use this, there's 2 ways to enroll. You can hold your phone up right now to this QR code, and you can either, it's going to take you, or in your email inbox, there's actually an email right now, and you can just say, I'm in, and enroll right now, and you'll get a message from me, and I'll help you set up your one-to-one calls, and we'll get started, hit the ground running. Or if you're on the fence or you're not sure, you want to make sure that it's a good fit. I also do one-to-one. My one-to-one clients do get this program for free. Been considering that. You can book a consult call with me and get your questions answered and find out if you're a good fit or not. So you can just use this QR code right here, or go to your email and the link is there as well. So now we'll open the floor to questions. So I'll give everyone a moment here and we'll see what questions people have got to run. Thank you so very much. You're very welcome. What other questions do you guys have? Questions about messaging, questions about the program. You guys are quiet today. Usually have a very chatty group. Okay, well, I have some common questions. How much time will it take to implement? So again, if you book before Friday and get your one-to-one call, you're going to have your offer made. We do your offer in that first call. So then the rest of the time is just getting people into the program. So that is like how quickly we'll do your one-to-one program. And then marketing plan, we can figure that out in your next call. Either it's in the group call or if you want to use your second call with me. How much time will this take in your week to week, day to day? Well, the calls are 1 hour long, and I do 3 calls a month. So there's always an implementation week. So you never feel behind. And, for family time, like I go on vacation once in a while, you might go on vacation. So there is some buffer time for you. So you need 1 hour for the call and 2 to 5 hours to implement. Depends on how much time you actually have in your schedule. But if you have 2 hours a week to start implementing and bringing in the marketing tactics and, start filling your workshops and converting them or converting from social media, that's plenty of time to sign clients. So it can be done. I have many clients that have massage practices and they're doing it, physical therapy practices and they're doing it, full and part-time jobs and they're doing it. So you don't need to be full-time in your business and you don't need a crazy amount of hours a week. You're very welcome, Michael. Yes, the recording will be shared. See you next week, Kirsten. Okay. So a lot of people, they say, okay, well, I've invested in programs before, I've worked with coaches before. And what a lot of people tell me when they finally work with me is that it's different than other programs because I'm so hands-on working with them where I know their business. I hands-on help them through tech like Betty, or hands-on, we're tweaking messaging and I'm looking at their Instagram and I'm seeing what's working, what's not working. Workshops, I am hands-on testing this with them because I'm a practitioner and I've done this in this work myself. People say, oh, it's so different because I actually know that you understand what I'm talking about. I'm not just an online guru. I've been a wellness practitioner for over 20 years. So, those are some big differences where people have tried programs in the past that haven't worked and they come here and they actually see results. Like my client, Melissa, she'd been in the online world learning from the online gurus and was really struggling to bring in consults and clients, was like not bringing in any money really, and in the online business, and she was stuck and it was very emotional and very stressful for her. But she didn't have a large audience on Instagram and Facebook. She has some people there, but really wanted to lean into in-person marketing, which we did. And she's like, I don't know why I never thought to do this before. I saved her so much time and energy. In her first month of working with me, she started getting consults and starting bringing money into her business. We turned it all around, and she was able to utilize all those programs of the past. They weren't wasted time or energy. She just had to individualize them for her. So the community is not so large that you're going to be just another number or disappeared and never have communication or talk with me. I actually will know your business, which can be scary too, because it can feel, scary to have someone like give you feedback and have my eyes on your business. I know because I'm in so many coaching programs myself. It can feel very vulnerable, but it can save you so much time and energy. So just a reminder, the bonus is you get the 2 one-to-one calls. So I will know your business. I will know what you're doing. You get the website audit. You just have to join by Friday the 31st. If you want to book a call and you're having time, because the consults are first come, first serve, you're having trouble getting in my schedule before the 30th, just message me and I'll help you out. I'll get you into the schedule. You can just hit reply to any of the emails or just DM me on Instagram or Facebook. That's totally fine as well. Krista has another question. You mentioned a practitioner not being savvy. What if you have clients who are not tech savvy and not so do? Yeah, this is a great question. I'm so glad you asked this. So that's normal. When you have your clients that aren't tech savvy, I had this too. When I first went online, I had some people that were, 60 plus years. And so they didn't know how to get on Zoom. So sometimes I would just make it easy and we would do like a FaceTime call. You can't record it, but you can still show up. It was simple and easy for them. Eventually, what I ended up doing was putting Zoom instructions in my call reminders. So I just taught them how to do it. And they learned how, and then the instructions were in Zoom. And I would tell them, okay, listen, for our first call, try to get on Zoom with your partner beforehand, or try it 10 minutes before our first call. You just have to troubleshoot. I worked with someone, she was in a very remote area of Portugal. So sometimes the Wi-Fi wasn't reliable. So we did what we could. If she could show up online, we did the call. And if the call got dropped, I would just wait there and she would jump back on if she could. If she couldn't, we would just message back and forth, and I would help her via email and DM access. So there's many ways. You just have to troubleshoot person by person, and then you'll figure out a system that works for your audience. And then when people come in and they say, oh, I don't know what to do for tech, you're like, no worries, I've got you. I got a system to take care of you. Now, the other part, not being sold what on online work, that's a different problem. And that comes down to the marketing, the messaging, and the result that you're promising, the marketing and the selling. So in your workshops, in your emails, in your online promotional, like when you're marketing, you want to be telling them like the benefits of working online. So I have a client, she has a physical therapy clinic, and we built a wait list in the clinic, and then she was like, okay, I want to bring in my online program. And she helps moms. She works in women's health. And same thing, some of the moms were like a little skeptical about working online. And so she's in Colorado. What happens there is snowstorms, like a lot of the country right now. And also their moms, so nannies cancel. So she started saying, hey, listen, you don't have to miss an appointment and lose consistency and lose momentum. We just meet online. So she started bringing online work into her in-person programs, and people loved it because she has text messages of people saying, oh, I'm so glad I could meet with you online. Because of the snow day, I didn't have to miss a session. I could keep going. She has messages of people saying, oh my gosh, my nanny canceled. I didn't have to pay the late fee. I could just show up online. So she first started bringing it into her in-person work. And then she also brought in online fitness classes. So then her in-person people could start to work with her in a low ticket module, without investing thousands of dollars. She started to build trust in her audience through $20 fitness classes, and then she moved to more high ticket. So there's different ways you can strategize through both in your marketing and selling, so the audience understands the benefits of the result that you're selling. You're not selling online work, you're selling a result. And if you're still getting a lot of pushback, you can ease in your audience as well. So there's different techniques on how to do that. So let me know if that helps answer your question. Michaela said, if we sign up for the one-to-one call when registering for their program, oh, Michaela, if you're interested in one-to-one, just book a consult. It's it's the same link. And just write in the consult form that you're interested in one-to-one, and I'll know. So it's the same link in the email. So yep, that's perfectly fine. As a one-to-one client, you do get this group program for free, which my one-to-one clients, they love because they have a community, and they get extra help beyond our weekly calls. Oh, Kathy says, as a former student and grateful colleague, I want to give a big shout out. Thank you so much, Allison, for her guidance and support. I've been in many coaching programs and can say Allison delivers 1,000%, and her content is relatable and simple, step by step. Thank you so much, Kathy. I really love this. Have fun, come together in the cohort, and you will make fabulous connections, and the journey will be enriching. And you will bump up against your own resistance, totally normal, and give it a big hug and celebrate. I love that. See you around. Yes, please, 100%. Thank you so much, Kathy. That is so sweet. Krista, super helpful. Michaela, okay, thanks. Okay, so good. What other questions do you guys got? What time is it? We're almost at the time, but I'm happy to stay on. If there's more questions about working with me, questions about going online, I'm here for you. You got my time. Ask your questions. Jill says, are there certain symptoms or systems? Sorry, got into my practitioner brain there for a moment. Are there certain systems or platforms that you focus on or utilize? ActiveCampaign, Go High Level, Facebook Ads Manager. Yeah, this is a great question. No, I work with what you have. I don't require you to do ads, which is very different than a lot of programs out there. I do have clients that boosts Instagram posts occasionally. I do have a strategy for that, but 100% you don't have to do that. Personally, I was 100% organic before I hit my first 6 figures. So you can do it organic. You don't have to pay for ads unless you want to. If you do want to, I can help you. We utilize the email software that you currently have. If you don't have email software, I do give recommendations, and we just work with the best fit for you. So 100% you don't have to do or buy any additional software. Really, all you need is Zoom, like I said. Or if you had, I have some people that have Jane or Practice Better, and the online Zoom session capability is built into that platform already. That's perfectly fine as well. But yeah, no, I totally work with whatever you have. That's a great question. You don't have to learn a lot of new things. I do recommend an email software platform. Do you have one, Jill? But it can be the one that you already have. You don't have to change platforms. And a lot of my clients, I recommend Kit, and I have a Kit link if anyone wants. And I'm also a Kajabi affiliate if anyone wants that. I do give some bonuses. And I know how I share my screens and walk you through tech, but I have, people that again use Practice Better, MailChimp, other email, Flowdesk, all these other platforms, and I'm able to help them with their tech too. We just do share screens and such. And my VA is going to be a part of the program and help with tech as well, because she literally, I think, is a genius. So she's going to help out with tech support as well in the program. What other questions do you guys have? Yes, I do teach. Michaela asked how to use AI. I do. I use AI with my clients. I use AI myself. So I do teach AI on how to feel authentic using AI and how to save time and speed up content process for yourself. So I do teach AI. Isabella asked, do you see a drastic turnaround of leads and sales through email or text marketing? I sometimes hesitant because I feel people don't read them. Sometimes thanks in advance. No, it's true. I send a lot of emails. All of you have gotten a lot of emails from me because they're just a lot of emails sent out in general, and you do want to stand out. So when I'm in a launch like this, I will send a lot of emails, but on average, I send 2 a week. I feel it all comes down to messaging. And when you say text marketing, do you mean like cold DMs? I'm not a big cold DMs. I have some of my in-person clients, they do use texting to their patients and clients as part of, like, I do reminder calls via text. reminders for my calls. They might do, some of them have follow-up systems that are text, that are text heavy because it works for them. But I do promote engaging with your audience through DMs. Like some of you might have talked with me personally before coming on this workshop. I do DM with my audience. And sometimes I go through periods like when I have a workshop, I'll do a welcome DM. But I don't do, those are to my followers, people that follow me. I'm not a big proponent to cold copy and paste DMs where someone hasn't raised their hand or asked for help in some way. Isabella says sometimes Square will let you send promos and marketing through its software. Yeah, you can always try it. If those are like, I have many of my clients, like, for example, if they come to me, it's normal in business to have really great months and sometimes lean months, and they never know how to manage it. And so what I do teach is like reaching out to past patients and clients that maybe have fallen off, and that is through DM. And you can do that through, promos and marketing. Yeah, it's again, it all comes down to the hypothesis. If you have a hypothesis, Isabella, that maybe you want to try text messaging, see how it works, see how it feels for you. Do you like it? Do your clients respond to it? If that's a yes, keep it, go forward. If it doesn't feel right to you, or clients, you're seeing the feedback from them is not great, then you can let it go. But the only way to know is to have that hypothesis and try it. You're very welcome. Michaela says, do you recommend purchase of ChatGPT? I do think the $20 a month ChatGPT, because then I create projects, you can create your own bots. Like when I teach AI, I teach it very simple, just through projects and such. But if you wanted to get fancy, you could create your own bots. It does remember more, and you have to train it less through the paying version. I feel like if you spent $20 a month and it helped you bring in a client, even if it was every few months, it totally pays for itself. Or if it helps you save hours of time, it pays for itself, that $20. That's my personal thought. But I have clients that don't buy it. I teach them how to use AI, and they're not doing the paying version right away, but then eventually they get it. So it's up to you. I pay for both ChatGPT and Claude. Actually, I love Claude too for writing emails. Claude's really helpful. So I have two. Good questions. What other questions do you guys have? Some people are jumping off. It's totally fine. But if you're here, you have any more questions for me, I'm happy to answer. Krista, just because I haven't seen you in a while, it's good to see you. I loved your questions. Hello. Amy says, if we are in the exploratory phase and not ready to jump in with both feet quite yet, will this program be offered again later this year? Yeah, of course. And Amy, I have many people that are in your shoes that want to get more profitable in person and then move online. So if you want to come in and work on your in-person work and get more profitable there, and then transition to online, you can do that as well, or just jump in next round. Yeah, for sure. I'm here for you either way. But I find that if you can start to just make more money in general anyway, then you'll feel a lot better in your business and have more abundance and time freedom overall. So I'm happy to help you with, in-person work if you want to do that, similar to what I did with Betty. We filled her in-person practice first, and then we brought in the online work. So either way, you're very welcome. Okay, guys, ladies, let's see. Who else do I see here? You're very welcome. Saja, did I say your name correctly? Sharon, good to see you here. I'm looking through who I can recognize. It was so lovely to have all of you on. Saya, is that correct? Saya? Saya. You can unmute yourself if you want. Okay, perfect. Good. I'm glad. All right. What other questions do you guys have, ladies have? think it's, no, I think there's some, you guys. You're very welcome, Kathy. So good to see you. See you soon. Yes, I hope so. Okay, well, it was wonderful to have everyone here. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. If you want to book a consult and you're having trouble getting into the schedule, just reach out to me and I'll get you in the schedule. You're very welcome, Amy. Okay, it was lovely to see you all, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now. You're very welcome, Isabella. All right, bye.